So yeah, we've got some poems to do. To be honest, most of the regulars in the family have heard all of this stuff before. But we're also recording this because it's my brother's birthday today. And he couldn't be here, so I'm recording this. So, happy birthday, our kid.
Happy birthday!
And so, first off, something that Attila the stockbroker wrote about 25 years ago, and it fits a little bit with my life here these days. It's called Spirit of the Age. You've got to be young and black to rap, right? So I've got no chance because I'm old, punk rock and white. You've got to be young and black to rap, wrong. Anyone can rap or write a punk rock song. So don't look at me with scorn or derision. I don't accept boundaries of cultural division. I'm MC Godfather right in your face, and listen up folks, I ain't going anyplace. This here rap's called Spirit of the Age, and all my life I'm gonna be on stage. A million ideas running round my head, and I'll be rapping till the day I'm dead. Age 48, I won't be sedate. Rancid rule, Joe Strummer is my soulmate. 49, I'll be doing just fine, reeling in the right on my verbal fishing line. 50, still nifty, so don't look at me like I'm sad or I'm shifty. 51, I'll be having some fun when Leeds score 10 and Man United score none. 52, I'll be talking to you and I'll make more sense than Blink 182. 53, top of the tree, read rebel rhymes and rapping rebel poetry. 54, like I've said before, show me a fascist, I'll show him the floor. 55, still alive while boring arty poets take a nosedive. 56, still high in the mix, this old punk rocker will have learnt some new tricks. 57, still first 11, drinking real ale like it's manna from heaven. 59, still not towing the line, just pulling out words and watching them rhyme. 60, still defying convention, I won't be drawing my punk rock pension. As long as I'm alive, I'll be live on stage. Age of the spirit, spirit of the age. Thank you. This next one, John Cooper Clarke now. This just happens to be my brother's favourite Johnny Clarke poem. So this is Kung Fu International, in which I get beaten up. Outside the takeaway Saturday night, a bald adolescent asked us out for the fight. He was no bigger than a two-penny fart. He was a deft exponent of the martial art. He gave me 3 warnings, trod on me toes, stuck his fingers in my eyes and kicked me in the nose. A rabbit punch made my eyes explode. My head went dead. I fell in the road. I pleaded for mercy. I wriggled on the ground. He kicked me in the balls and said something profound. He gave my face the millimetre tread, stole my chop suey and left me for dead. Through rivers of blood and splintered bone, I crawled half a mile to the public telephone, pulled the corpse out the call box, held back the bile, and with a broken index finger I proceeded to dial. I couldn't get an ambulance, the phone was screwed, the receiver fell in half, it had been kung food. A black belt karate cop opened up the door, demanded information about the stiff on the floor. He looked like an extra from the Yang Shang Po. He said, "What's all this then, asso, asso, asso?" He wore a bamboo mask, he was Jen Don Zen. He finished his devotions and he beat me up again. Now thanks to the embryonic Bruce Lee, I'm a shadow of the person that I used to be. I can't go back to Salford, the cops have got me marked. Enter the dragon, exit Johnny Clarke. Thank you. Alright, this next one's completely different. It's a bit self-indulgent, but I'm doing it anyway. This is a story. This is for my brother because it's his birthday. He came down. Happy birthday. He drove all the way down to Cumbria for a gig with us once, and things happened on the way. So I wrote this about it. And I wrote it from his perspective rather than mine. It's called Leonard Cohen Killed My Car. In 41 years I've seen so many gigs, I've seen far many more than all the other kids. I thought I'd done it all all, seen all there was to see. Then a certain old crooner came calling to me. He was a Jew who wrote the Bible. He lived in a tower of song. He wore a famous blue raincoat and never put a word wrong. I decided to make the journey, well, more a pilgrimage. So I loaded up the car and together we crossed the bridge. I had to meet my brother, my mate, our kid. The fact I'd been the night before as well was something that I hid. We met in town, we hung around, waiting for the show to start. The lights went down, the curtain up, the man did sing, oh, and his voice we did sup. His voice was velvet, gravel and bass. I doubt there was a dry eye in the whole place. He sang to my heart, he sang to my soul. Until that day, I'd never been whole. There was an intermission, we went out for a smoke. We were filled with so much joy, we hardly even spoke. Then round two started, we both went back inside, ready for the next part of music's greatest ride. We took a walk down Buggy Street, saw a future that is murder, and then that honey-coated voice took us even further. Raptured, captured, enslaved and caught, every line he sang to me, every word I bought. He was a voice of an angel, a devil and a man. Surely no one sings like that, surely no one can. But then the show was over, and we were the last to go. There was nothing left to see or hear, nothing else to know. The stage door beckoned, a handshake would have been nice, but he'd already gone, and if we met him anyway, we'd have probably turned to ice. So I got in the car, our kid was on the bus, we waved goodbye to each other until we couldn't see us. I was heading home, I hadn't gone far, when wouldn't you know it, Leonard Cohen killed my car. He killed it with a song, he killed it with his voice, he killed it with a song. Mr. Peugeot knew, as I did too, any gig after that would be wrong. It'd taken us to gigs so near and far, and I wonder if it was destiny that Leonard Cohen killed my car. Its radiator wet, hot tears of steam, a gasket blew and it lost its view when it cracked its window screen. Its exhaust was exhausted, its tyres were deflating. Mr. Peugeot knew, as I did too, this had been the king. So I sat by the side of the road waiting for the AA whilst watching Mr. Peugeot bleed his life's blood oil away. We got towed back to our kids, we stayed there for the night. I met the bird the very next day, she tried to make it right. She wasted her voice, she wasted her time. That night of beauty was the cars, our kids and mine. So I left it there for our kid to deal. When he told me it had been crushed, oh, it all became so real. So farewell, Mr. Peugeot, I drove you so far, and I'll never forget the day that Leonard Cohen killed my car. Thank you again. Alright, two of my own now. And these, I guess, because of the subject matter, could be dedicated to Sandy. I apologise if anybody gets offended by this, but it's nothing bad. It's just my personal opinion on a particular person's life. Jesus was a hippie, yippee-ki-yay. He had a big beard and wore sandals every day. He didn't have a job, just went from town to town, and I bet he played his guitar as the sun went down. Mary, Mary, oh contrary, I'm gonna roll a 10 Skinner, do you dare me? Matthew, Mark, Luke or John, do us a favour and put the space cakes on. You see, he wore a caftan, preached peace and love, and I bet his favourite bird was a pure white dove. He was a chilled out, laid back, hippie kind of guy who wasn't a spaceman and didn't come from the sky. This one is another similar themed dish, but this is something I wrote a while ago after another of those stories in the paper about a member of the clergy doing naughty things to young boys. So I got pissed off and wrote this. Obviously they've never done it since. It's called Never Trust a Bishop. Never trust a bishop, they wear funny clothes, they're like little boys and look at you down the nose. Men wearing dresses should be in a tranny bar, not stood up on a Sunday telling you how bad you are. Confess all your sins, all the sex and more, while he plays with his willy in the confession next door. Yes, tossing himself in the booth next to you while you tell your indiscretions, bet you they do. They're not supposed to marry, wank or have sex, but if that were true, they'd have balls the size of a T-Rex. They come round to your house and stay for tea and ask your little nephew to sit on their knee. They bounce him up and down and it's all just for fun, but if anything else happens, don't tell your mum, else God will come down and strike her dead. He'll cut out her heart and piss on her head. They're hypocrites and full of shit and liars too. Should we trust the bishops? Well, I don't. Do you? No! is another one of mine. This is the most recent thing I've written, and this is an example of why you shouldn't take too many drugs. And just to explain what its name is, originally when I wrote this, I was going to call it I Want. And then I thought, nah, I'm going to call it Dear Santa. And then a friend said, why not be honest and call it A Whole Pile of Stoner Bollocks? So it is now officially called Dear Santa, I Want a Whole Pile of Stoner Bollocks. Now I'm being honest. Okay, so it's called that. I want a fit bird that the baddies can kidnap, and as you drag her away I'll shout, I'll be back. And I will, with guns, lots of guns, and as I shoot the baddies I'll make witty puns. I want to say yippee-ki-yay motherfucker in a bad guy's face as I push him off the roof and he falls through space. I want a day off with Ferris Bueller and to meet Steve McQueen in the cooler. I want to fly through space on the Starship Enterprise and be like Ray Milland with his X-ray eyes. I want to drive a car in the sky with Marty McFly and discover old bones with Indiana Jones. I want a transformer, my own metal man, who'll kick the shit out of baddies and blow up everything he can. I want to travel in time and chat with Einstein and help make a monster with Baron Frankenstein. I want Joe Strummer back alive, Dimebag and Gary Moore, and to replace them dead, Justin Bieber, Bono, Jedward, Cher, Lloyd, Rihanna, and oh so many more. I want Simon fucking Cowell whipped with a wet towel. Then let's disembowel the pompous little shit. I want to do that line again. I want to smoke a spliff the size of the sky, then go for a swim in a massive custard pie. I want to marry the sound of Dave Gilmour's guitar and have rock and roll babies born in a star. I want an end to war, trouble and strife, and Mila Jovovich to be my wife. I want to break free from your lies. You're so self-satisfied, I don't need you. God knows, I want to break free. I want to play ping pong with King Kong, have a bar fight at night, injure a ninja, take tea with the Queen, eat spaghetti with the Yeti and a lolly with Stan and Ollie. But more than this, and above them all, I want just one kiss from Lauren Bacall. Alright, two left. We'll take a trip now. Everybody knows where we're going, of course. Usually somebody shouts it out. Chickens out! Indeed, thank you. Johnny Clark's most famous poem, played it on The Sopranos and all sorts of stuff. This is evidently Chicken Town. The fucking cops are fucking keen to fucking keep it fucking clean. The fucking chiefs are fucking swine who fucking draws the fucking line. And fucking fun and fucking games. The fucking kids he fucking blames are nowhere to be fucking found anywhere in Chicken Town. The fucking scene is fucking sad. The fucking news is fucking bad. The fucking weed is fucking turf. The fucking speed is fucking surf. The fucking blokes are fucking daft. Don't make me fucking laugh. It fucking hurts to look around everywhere in Chicken Town. The fucking train is fucking late. You fucking wait. You fucking wait. You fucking lost and fucking found. Stuck in fucking Chicken Town. The fucking view is fucking vile for fucking miles and fucking miles. The fucking babies fucking cry. The fucking flowers fucking die. The fucking food is fucking mucked. The fucking drains are fucking fucked. The colour scheme is fucking brown everywhere in Chicken Town. The fucking pubs are fucking dull. The fucking clubs are fucking full. The fucking girls and fucking guys with fucking murder in their eyes. A fucking bloke is fucking stabbed waiting for a fucking kebab. You fucking stay at fucking home. The fucking neighbours fucking moan. Keep the fucking racket down. This is fucking Chicken Town. Fucking train is fucking late. You fucking wait. You fucking wait. You fucking lost and fucking found. Stuck in fucking Chicken Town. The fucking pies are fucking old. The fucking chips are fucking cold. The fucking beer is fucking flat. The fucking flats are fucking rats. The fucking clocks are fucking wrong. The fucking days are fucking long. It fucking gets you fucking down. Evidently Chicken Town. Thanks for that. I've just got one left to do. I'm doing this one because yesterday, even though he's not with us anymore, it was Joe Strummer's birthday. Really great man. And he just happens to coincide with our kid. So this is a tribute to Joe Strummer. It's called Commandante Joe. I guess in quite a lot of ways I grew up just like you, a bolshy kid who didn't think the way they told him to. You kicked over the statues of roots rock rebel star, who knew that punk was more than just the sound of a guitar. And so many bands back then were like too many bands today, the bunch of blokes who made a noise with bugger all to say. But the Clash were always out in front, you put the rest to shame. Your words were calls to action, your music was a flame. You were our commandante and you raised an inferno, and you wrote a soundtrack for my life, Commandante Joe. Reggae in the Palais, midnight till 6, Rocking Reds in Brockwell Park, Stem Guns in Knightsbridge, up and down the Westway, in and out the lights, Clash City Rockers, know your rights. I guess in quite a lot of ways I grew up just like you, a bolshy kid who didn't think the way they told him to. Like you, I always knew that words and music held the key. As you did for so many, you showed the way to me. So although I've never met you, I'm so sad to see you go, because you wrote a soundtrack for our kid's life, Commandante Joe.